Greetings, beautiful beings, and welcome to the Breathing Bar. I'm Mahuvia, your bartender today and every day, and thank you for joining us. We are exploring the elixirs and tonics, the bitters and the sweets and the sours, as we continue to navigate living while human. Today, before we go into our topic and what we're going to kind of be vibing with, I made me a drink today. I did some juicing, focusing on my sacral chakra, focusing on orange, which is my favorite color. But also in this season, it's a very balancing color with everything that's happening within the universe. It's important that we all know whatever we need to stay balanced each season. And I know that's a common sense statement to make, like most of the statements I make are common sense. But anyway, what I did today, I juiced carrots, turmeric, and oranges. And then I put a touch of cayenne pepper in there and just allowed myself to infuse with this frequency of orange on all my cellular levels. So that's what we're drinking on today here at the Breathing Bar. What did you drink on today? What was your first drink this morning? Well, actually, this was my second drink. My first was lemon lime water with vinegar, apple cider vinegar. And I just kind of fused that, and that's what I drank first. So today we're continuing this winter solstice season, going within, as always, into your universe, into that space and place where your sovereignty resides, where your peace resides. And as I continue to become more transparent with myself, intentional, transparent, and honest. Those are the three most powerful frequencies in my space relative to me finding my balance. Because a lot of times we don't tell the truth to ourselves. Or we tell part of the truth that exists in a certain frequency that we're in. And even though it's true in that frequency, sometimes if we're honest with ourselves, we'll realize that we really reside in another frequency much more than we reside in that frequency where we're speaking this truth from. And that's what I want to talk about today. Today we're going to talk about just because you can speak, quote unquote, the truth, definitely quote unquote, doesn't mean you'll be able to live it. Just because you can speak the truth, quote unquote, does not mean you'll be able to live it. And I put truth in quotes because truth is relative to the moment that you're in, and it'll always evolve and expand. So I don't believe that there's one truth. Everything is evolutionary. Truth is evolutionary. A lot of times I find that people feel, Huvia, what you speak is so profound, or what you speak is so interesting, or what you speak. Yeah, I have some portals open. And through these portals, I'm able to communicate from different realms of reality. And not only communicate, but understand what's being transmitted through me. And this has taken me years of acceptance and practice and balance. But yet that's the person that I am in this moment. But just because I'm the messenger and I receive the information from these portals and I'm able to communicate it, that doesn't mean that it is me and I can live it. And that's real for everyone. I don't care if they're your most beloved guru, spiritual leader, guide. It's up to you to take whatever information that is coming to you and decide what you want to do with it. So we all have the choice to decide. All of us get revelations. All of us get wisdom coming through us. And we have to decide, is it going to be a fleeting? It comes to my conscious mind. I register it. I communicate it. I write it down. I post it, or whatever you may do with it. I write a song about it. I speak about it on my podcast. And then I'm just going to kind of go back to my realm of comfort and do the things that I do. And just kind of put that on the back burner. And then you may say, okay, you take this information. You do all the things I just said. But then you're like, okay, how do I go deeper with this? And you take the information and you begin to allow it to kind of recycle itself back in. What I find is everything that I have learned and become is because I know how to recycle the information from my my first realm of understanding it, and then I recycle it back in maybe a month later, how does it look now? And then I recycle it a year later, how does it look now? And I continue to recycle everything that I go into now. I started when I was in elementary school because of some trauma situations and me having to deal with meditation and yoga and all of these calming down at that time, mindfulness things. But now as I mature, I see myself just recycling. What did I do then? Boom, let's bring that back now, recycle it. What does it look like? So when it comes to quote unquote truth, it's about recycling and bringing it back, because each time you bring it back, you're bringing it to a higher frequency. And when I say a higher frequency, unless you're always moving, energy is always moving. So let me not use the word higher frequency, but you're bringing it to a different frequency, because anytime you evolve and grow, you shift in your frequency. And when you shift your frequency and you bring the same information in, it will be processed differently through that frequency than it was through another one. A new level of awareness may come in, a new insight, because your experiences and your perception has expanded, will allow you to go deeper. But the key for me wanting to go into, just because you can speak quote unquote the truth doesn't mean you'll be able to live it, is because we were taught and conditioned to listen and look outside of ourselves for the answers first. We were taught that there are people that know more and understand deeper, and that we need to be students of or study from. What that has done many times is keeps us in the perpetual space of being someone else's student. I'm not going to say being a student, but being someone else's student. And we never become our own student. We never become our own guru, our own mentor, our own spiritual guide for ourselves. And that's the only way that you will truly evolve into that spirit being you want to be, is when you finally go within and say, I got this. I know how to listen with my inner ear to my innerverse. Because most of the time when you look at the inability to manifest the truths you speak, or you continuing to fall short of things you may know deeply that you need to manifest and be and implement in your life, is because you still don't have a fluid connection with yourself. Many times you're still in judgment of yourself. The more you're in judgment of yourself, the more you'll stand outside of yourself when you're trying to implement these eternal truths, because you have to move judgment out the way. Truth does not live in judgment. And it's hard. Self-judgment is such a conditioned response in a culture where you're conditioned to excel based on parameters and guides given by someone else. Validation given and created by someone else. And ultimately we have to strip all that down and come naked and come to our space of just being intentional and honest. All of us have portals open to give us access to those deeper realms of understanding. Many times we may push them aside. Many times we may not be ready for them. But that doesn't mean that you still can't be the spokesperson for those eternal truths and wisdom that's coming through. If you're willing, you can just write it in a journal, put it in a book, and someone else will be the one to take it to the next level. That's how history has been created. That's how traditions were created. People taking it from one space to another, to another, to another. So there's no begin all to end all. We all have free will and choice to create and live the way we want to. And we still have to step out of judgment if you feel people that are teaching something aren't living it. Be empathetic that they are open portals to be able to bring the information forward, to bring the understanding forward. We never know the journeys of anybody. We never know the mental and emotional realities of anyone to stand in judgment because they're not living the way you feel they should live based on what they're saying. Each of us say what we need to say at any given moment to someone, not because of anything within us that we're doing relative to what we're communicating, but it's because that's what they need or that's what's needed at that moment. So that is the beauty of being able to communicate and being able to translate the frequencies and the rhythms that are coming through different portals, because you're able to give at that moment what's needed, and you're not resisting, and you're not pushing it away or saying, I don't want to. So it's a beautiful thing. Just because you can't speak the truth, or just because you can speak the truth, doesn't mean you are able to live it. But that's okay, because no matter what, you're living. And you decide at any time what you want to take in and live and become and explore. Don't be bound what comes up for you, that's your begin all to end all. It's not. The eternal truths that come, don't feel judgment or heavy because you're struggling with what's coming to you or what's being revealed to you. Just get it out. That's all you have to do. The moment will assist you. The more you can just stay in the moment, deep breathe, and come into a space of calm, the more your cells will process everything that you need in a balanced way. So it really doesn't matter what you say out loud for yourself. It really doesn't matter if you can live what you say out loud. What does matter is that you show up each moment, to be in the moment, to be receptive, to be a vessel to communicate what it is you're supposed to at any given moment. So that's all we're talking about today, beautiful beings, is even though we started with just because you can speak the truth doesn't mean you'll be able to live it. And we moved all the way to the point that it doesn't even matter at the end of the day. Speak what comes, live in each moment, and everything will balance itself out. So you all have a beautiful moment wherever you are, and we will talk soon. Give thanks and thank you for coming to the Breathing Bar.